Hi, welcome to NCERT CBSE Class 6 History, Chapter 6 Kingdoms, Kings and an Early Republic. And in this video, we will learn every point in the section Changes in Agriculture. This comprises 15 questions. Question 1. About dash years ago, there were major changes in agriculture. The options are 1500, 2500, 3500, 4500. Your time to choose. And the answer is 2500. So, about 2500 years ago, there were major changes in agriculture. Question 2. About 2500 years ago, there were dash major changes in agriculture. The options are 2, 3, 4, 5. Your time to choose. And the answer is 2. So, about 2500 years ago, there were two major changes in agriculture. Question 3. One of the major changes in agriculture was dash. The options are the growing use of pulleys, discovery of high-yielding grains, the growing use of wooden plowshares, the growing use of iron plowshares. Your time to choose. And the answer is the growing use of iron plowshares. So, one of the major changes in agriculture was the growing use of iron plowshares. Question 4. Plowshare is dash. The options are a type of plow, the sharing of a plow for efficiency, two or more animals used to pull the plow, the sharp blade at the digging end of the plow. Your time to choose. And the answer is the sharp blade at the digging end of the plow. So, plowshare is the sharp blade at the digging end of the plow. Question 5. Use of iron plowshares meant that dash than with a wooden plowshare. The options are rain could seep into the soil better, seeds were planted better, harvesting was easier, heavy clayey soil could be turned over better. Your time to choose. And the answer is heavy clayey soil could be turned over better. So, use of iron plowshares meant that heavy clayey soil could be turned over better than with a wooden plowshare. Question 6. With the use of iron plowshares, heavy clayey soil could be turned over better, resulting in dash. The options are more grain being produced, easier harvesting of crops, easier planting of seeds, rainwater seeping into the soil better. Your time to choose. And the answer is more grain being produced. So, with the use of iron plowshares, heavy clayey soil could be turned over better, resulting in more grain being produced. Question 7. The second major change about 2500 years ago was that dash. The options are people began mixing varieties of seeds, trade systems were improved, people began transplanting paddy, people grew multiple crops in one year. Your time to choose. And the answer is people began transplanting paddy. So, the second major change about 2500 years ago was that people began transplanting paddy. Question 8. Transplanting paddy meant that dash. The options are crops were moved from field to field, multiple crops were grown, crop stalks were burnt and then seeds sown, saplings were grown and then planted in the fields. Your time to choose. And the answer is saplings were grown and then planted in the fields. So, transplanting paddy meant that saplings were grown and then planted in the fields. Question 9. Before the change of transplanting paddy, people dash. The options are crops were moved from field to field, multiple crops were grown, crop stalks were burnt and then seeds sown, scattered seed from which plants would sprout. Your time to choose. And the answer is scattered seed from which plants would sprout. So, before the change of transplanting paddy, people scattered seed from which plants would sprout. Question 10. Use of iron plowshares and transplanting paddy led to dash. The options are increased production, reduced labor, reduced money invested in planting crops. Your time to choose. And the answer is increased production. So, use of iron plowshares and transplanting paddy led to increased production. Next question 11. Use of iron plowshares and transplanting paddy led to increased production as dash. The options are the soil was better, the atmosphere was better, the seeds were better, many more plants survived. Your time to choose. And the answer is many more plants survived. So, use of iron plowshares and transplanting paddy led to increased production as many more plants survived. Question 13. Generally, dash were used for transplanting paddy. The options are jana, cattle, slave men and women, dasas and dasis, all of these. Your time to choose. And the answer is slave men and women, dasas and dasis. So, generally, slave men and women, dasas and dasis, were used for transplanting paddy. Question 14. Generally, dash were also used for transplanting paddy. The options are Shudras, cattle, janas, landless agricultural laborers, kamakaras. Your time to choose. And the answer is landless agricultural laborers, kamakaras. So, generally, landless agricultural laborers, kamakaras, were also used for transplanting paddy. Last question. Landless agricultural laborers were called dash. The options are Shudras, Kamakaras, Jana, Dasas and Dasis. Your time to choose. And the answer is Kamakaras. So, landless agricultural laborers were called Kamakaras. Okay, so in this video, we learned every point in the section Changes in Agriculture. In the next video, we will learn every point in the section A Closer Look, A Magadha. I'll see you there.